Hello and welcome to Classical Wednesdays. I'm here today with Chris Brannick, who in the course of the next hour or so is going to play all these instruments. So tell me, Chris, why percussion?
Percussion, that's a really odd one because it's because my piano teacher told me to. Basically, I went away to sixth form, and the school I went to had just commissioned an opera, and the opera had some percussion parts in, and the head of music said, "Well, you can play the piano, and it's just percussion. Anyone can do that. So you go and play percussion," and it's true, anyone can do it. So I started playing percussion at school alongside the piano. At the end, as I was getting towards that moment where you have to choose your next move, I said to my piano teacher, I really want to go to college to study piano. And he said, don't do that. You'll end as a piano teacher and you'll hate it. And that was from my piano teacher, which is, inspiring words. But he then went on and said, why don't you do, I don't know, maths or something? So I went and did maths. While I was at Imperial, they had nowhere to play the piano that I could use. So I ended up playing percussion in the orchestra. After I finished the degree, I thought, why not try percussion? Even though I've never had a lesson in my life, why not just give it a go? And the maths people said, well, basically, with a maths brain, if you're going to do top-line maths stuff, you've got about 10 years before you have to make a decision whether you've dropped it or not. I thought, well, I'll see what happens and see if I'm still going in 10 years' time. And here I am, nearly 40 years later, still going. So that's why percussion.
Do you use the maths? Do you find the maths helps with what everybody thinks of as percussion is counting?
Yeah, my thing is that's not maths, that's arithmetic, and which is a branch of maths. So I think that is a kind of a love of abstract beauty which happens in pure maths, which was my subject, and music generally. But apart from that, well, we'll see later. There is a link to mathematics in today's programme, but we'll maybe leave that a little bit later.
Okay, so basically you enjoy hitting things.
I enjoy hitting things, and I enjoy hitting things usually in the right order, with the right sticks.
And to start us off on this programme this evening, what are you going to hit? or what are you going to do, more to the point?
Well, this brings us back to one of the themes of today, which will be music theatre, which is not musicals like Hello, Dolly. It's theatrical pieces, contemporary pieces which have a theatrical element. And a fantastic composer called Tim Benjamin wrote this piece, sort of for me, but sort of for an organisation. That's a bit complicated, we won't go into that right now. And it's a piece that can be just played straight as a snare drum solo. But he said it's really got this element to it about... Well, I won't tell you what it is because you'll see as the programme goes on. But yes, it's a trap, it's a snare drum, snare, trap. You see where we're going with that one?
Yeah,
very clever.
Little link.
Yeah.
I like plays on words.
Yes,
it's good. So I'm looking forward to that. So without further ado, here is "It's a Trap" by Tim Benjamin. So next we're going to hear a set of 3 relatively short pieces by the composer Paul Burnell. They're not written to be played together, but we decided to make a little suite of Paul Burnell pieces. I know that you've known Paul for quite a while, and he's written a lot of pieces for you. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I first met Paul at a summer school run by an organisation called Coma, which at the time was Contemporary Music for Amateurs. It's now Contemporary Music for All. And it is a fabulous organisation. If anyone's interested in playing, wants to play contemporary music, and you're not sure whether you're good enough or whatever, they've got, no matter what standard you are, they can fit you in somewhere. Fabulous organisation. Yeah, but he used to help out with them and did some stuff with them. And one year I heard him play a piece that had won a competition or become one of a BBC top 10 pieces for something. I can't remember what the prize was. Sorry, Paul. But it was a piece called Leaving the Party on Pluto. I remember listening to it and thinking, blimey, that's a good piece. I really like that. We got to be friends. And every now and then I'd just say, oh, I've got this, I've got a flute and percussion duo. Can you write a piece for it? And he'll write a piece. Or I've got a clarinet and percussion. And he's written, I don't know, it might be 10 pieces or whatever. But the piece in the middle I'll talk about first, And She Flew, wasn't written for me. That's a separate piece, standalone piece, one of his music theatre pieces. And I'd kind of like that I'd like not to say anything about it, because I think the flip in that piece is impressive enough that let's leave that. Let's leave the twist.
I remember the first time that I heard you do that piece live, and I was blown away by it, because it's we're not going to say anything.
No, it's a stunning piece. Yeah. Yeah. And then either side of that, we've got two pieces from the Mathematician suite that he wrote for me. This is when I started to get interested in frame drums. Now, a frame drum is it's a sort of a loose definition, but any drum which is just a frame and a skin, and maybe some jingles and things like that. So the first piece is on this. It's an Egyptian frame drum called a rick. And the second one is this, also a form of tambourine, a Brazilian frame drum called a pandeiro. Now, so I was getting involved in these frame drums, and I said to Paul, could you write a piece for frame drum? And he goes, what are they? But thank goodness for YouTube, not for the first time. And he said, well, what should I write about? And we wanted to find something that he could sort of, really get into. So he decided to link up to this fact that I was I nearly said failed mathematician. I never failed. I walked away. A mathematician. I have a degree. I must be a mathematician.
Absolutely.
And so he said, oh, well, I'll write 4 pieces around famous mathematicians. So Pascal, the 18th century physicist. I'm sorry, I should have checked my facts before I got to that. Physicist, philosopher, mathematician, amazing bloke. And the opening of that piece, when you hear it, if anybody knows binomial theory, then you'll hear the binomial expansion up to the 4th line in that first set of phrases, just when the fingers flick on the skin. And the other piece in it is the Feynman point. Feynman's more of a physicist, but this piece is based around the fact that he said that if you look at the expansion of pi to, as it goes on to infinity, there's one point around the 700th place, I can't remember what it was there, 729 I think, where the number 9 occurs lots of times in a row, like 6, 8, 9 times, just by coincidence. It just happens, within an infinite stream, that's going to happen. And he said he'd really like to memorise pi up to that point and just go 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and so on. That was his joke, which is a hilarious joke, obviously. And
mathematicians, do they have jokes?
Not really, no. I tried to come up with a mathematical joke then, but no, I know. And so in that one, he's got me to memorise the first 26 places of pi via a phrase which you hear at the beginning. And in that opening phrase, the joint suns course fun lives shine, every word rhymes with a number. So the is 3, joint is point, sun is 1. If you've got the right accent.
Yes.
And that piece goes through the 26 digits of pi. There are 2 other pieces in that. One is about the Lorentz, who did the butterfly, for butterflies' wings can set off a fractal theory. And the other one, which is worth looking up sometime, is the Nightingale March Past, because Florence Nightingale was actually a mathematician. Good. She was the first female member of the American Statistical Association. So anyway, so there's that little suite of pieces. As I said, they don't actually belong together. The first and third do, but the second one is a little bit of an outlier.
Yeah. So we're going to hear Pascal's Carriage on the Egyptian rick. We're going to hear And She Flew, which is voice and hand percussion. And we're going to hear
the Feynman point, which is for Pandero.
Excellent. And Any of you who do know a mathematician joke, pop it in the comments.
This is where I start. This is where I start. This is where I start. This is where I start, at the door of my house, looking out through the window of my house at the people, At the people in the street, going here, going there, doing all the things they do, going in, going out, with a bag in the hand, and a dog on the lead, and the kiddies on the ground playing game, and a bird up in the sky beating wing. Now I turn around, shuffle round, turn around, and I'm pointing to the stairs. I'm walking to the stairs. I'm moving to the stairs, to the stairs. And I'm here at the stairs, looking down at my feet, and the stairs, and the step number 1, and I pause. And I step onto step number 1 with a step, number 2 with a step, number 3, number 4, number 5, and I'm going up the stairs in my house, and I'm never, ever, ever looking down, and I'm here at number 10. I'm here at number 10. I'm here at number 10, and I stop. Getting slower. And this is where we stood. This is where she stood, lifetime ago, when we kissed, when we spoke. And this is where we stood, when we fought, getting fast, when she hit, beating hands upon my chest, when I pushed, when I gave a little push with my hands upon her back, and she flew. Now, I keep on going up, never looking down. Keep on going up the stairs in my house, to the landing in the house, and I go into the bathroom, back into the bathroom, and I look into the basin, at the water in the basin, put my hands in the water in the basin, and I wash with the water in the basin. I'm washing with the water in the basin, and I'm washing with the water in the basin, and I'm washing with the water in the basin. This is where I stop. The joint, sons, chords, spun lives, shines, new tricks, drives me, strives, straight lines, heavens, thine keys through me, great doors, kicks to sticks, for we flee fate. The joint, sun, core, spun, live, shine, new trick, drives me, strive, straight, line, heaven, thine, key through me, great, door, kicks, to sticks, for we flee fate. And so on. 3.14159 2 6 5 3 5 8 9 7 9 3 2 3 8 4 6 2 6 4 3 3 8, and so on, 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 and so on. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and so on, and so on, and so on.
So our next piece features this rather wonderful instrument here, although not on its end,
No,
like that. I guess you could play it like that.
You'd knock it over though, so I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so tell us about that one, Chris.
Well, this is an instrument from Ghana, from the north of Ghana, from the Dagari people, who are a racial group right up in the north, just as it turns into Burkina Faso.
Right.
And I was lucky enough that in the mid-90s, I played for a group called Ensemble Bash, and they were paid by the British Council to go to Ghana and work with the Ghanaian musicians. We had already been playing Ghanaian music in our concerts, so we had a kind of a link there, and one of the members had been to Ghana to study earlier. And we formed a really close bond with a set of musicians out there, and so I've been back more than half a dozen times to study. This is a Jill. I can't remember if I said that earlier, and it's a lovely instrument.
Sorry, a Jill.
Jill. There are two spellings of Jill commonly. I mean, it's Dagati isn't really a written language, so it's gets transliterated. It's either Gyil or Dzil.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those phonemes. So this piece actually means quite a lot to me because I was taught all my xylophone playing was done by a teacher called Thomas Sekura, who sadly is no longer with us. He died 10 years ago or something. Lovely man. It mattered a lot to me when he went quite young. So it could well be, and the piece I'm going to play is an arrangement of a folk song called Yaya Kole. It's a woman's song. In the song, she is teasing young men who can't get girlfriends. And she says, the only way to a woman's heart is to beg. That's what she says in the song. I can't vouch for that in reality, obviously, not having tried it. But yeah, so he put together this arrangement together with a man called Nano Danso Abiam. And they put together Yaya Kole with a couple of other folk tunes and turned it into this piece, which is on the first Pan-African Orchestra album called Opus 1. And there's a very good chance that I'm the only person left alive still playing this piece. Wow. Because it was done in an arrangement. He taught it to me as part of that arrangement. So yeah, it matters a lot to me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of gentlemen in the room today while we've been recording, myself being one of them, and the lovely Mr. Fawcett behind the camera over there. And you roped us in for this one.
Yes. So yes, hopefully it'll all hold together. We'll see when it happens. But it's that also is one of those things. There are people around, there are musicians around. Let's do things. Let's work together. So
it's a lovely way to work,
yeah,
isn't it?
Exactly.
And collaboration is a great word to use when you're working with musicians.
Yeah. Big fan.
And I think you were telling me earlier on that you've got a phrase that you like to use. In terms of your sort of approach to, I suppose, not just your musical career, but in a way your approach to everything.
Yeah, it came from a conversation I had with Dave Corkle, a timpanist, and what advice do you give to students? And he gave this advice, and I thought, that's been my life for as long as I can remember. His advice was, the way to have a musical career, the way to get on is 6 words. Say yes, turn up, and be nice. And that can give you something of a career, but it always starts with say yes. He has amended it now. It's say yes, turn up, be nice, answer your damn emails.
That's a 21st century version, isn't it?
Yes, and so that's the thing. Would you want to go to Ghana? Yes. Do you know anything about it? No. I'll just go. So that's just say yes.
I think I love learning from different cultures in music, and I think it's a fantastic thing. And I have to say, I think Mark and I quite enjoyed ourselves playing this next piece. So tell us the title again.
The title is Yaya Kole. It's a traditional song, but arranged by Thomas Sekura.
suspect that some of you may have been wondering, as I was when I saw them earlier in the day, flower pots.
Yes.
Chris, come on, flower pots.
I don't know when I first heard this piece. It would have been in the early 90s. And it's by a composer called Frederick Rzewski, who died a few months ago. I met Rzewski a couple of times, and he's a horrible person, but he wrote this fantastic, beautiful, spiritual piece, which actually played by quite a lot of percussionists now. So, yeah, I'm not even the best flower pot player around. The unusual thing about this piece is that there are some long sections, long flower pot solo sections, and going back to the mathematical thing, they are built up in a kind of a number pattern sequence. So it's all in 7-bar patterns. The whole piece is in 7-bar sections. And there are these 7-note phrases, which he plays. You play note 1, then you go to the next row, where you play note 1 and note 2. Then you play note 1 and note 2, note 1, note 2, and note 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now that sounds really cerebral, but actually it works. There's one pattern in the middle which just goes da 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 da, and there's this little funky swing to it, which you wouldn't think would come out of a simple number pattern. But yeah, it's a lovely, lovely piece of music. One more, if I can tell you one more anecdote about myself and Frederick Rzewski. The time when I met him, I was playing his piece called Lost and Found, which is for naked percussionist. And I don't even know why it's naked percussionist, because there are no instruments. It is you, a table and a chair, and nothing else. And it's an extraordinary piece. You read out this poem from written back from a soldier who was stationed in Vietnam, and he didn't actually come back, so it's a letter to his parents, and you read it out in sections. You do various acts, and it's incredibly powerful. And the fact that somebody is naked on stage makes it even more. It just, your brain can't cope, and it lets in all the emotions. And so when I got ready to play this piece, this is when he was really quite unpleasant to me. When we were getting ready for the piece, he said, "This is going to be a disaster. I don't want you to play this piece. You are going to play it terribly. You can't play that. You haven't, other pieces you played of mine, you're terrible." And I ended up playing it. And at the end of the piece, you know where this is going. He gave me a warm hug, naked as I was, and said it was the best he'd ever heard.
I think we shall hear some flower pot playing.
But so yeah, forget that. This is going to be a lovely, lovely 8 minutes. Very beautiful. To the earth, mother of all, I will sing the well-established. The oldest, who nourishes on her surface everything that lives. These things that walk upon the holy ground, and those that swim in the sea, and those that fly. All these are nourished by your abundance. It is thanks to you if we humans have healthy children and rich harvests. Great Earth, you have the power to give life to and to take it away. From creatures that must die. Happy are the ones whom you honour with your kindness and gifts. What they have built will not perish. Their fields are fertile, their herds prosper. And their houses are filled with good things. Their cities are governed with just laws. Their women are beautiful. Good fortune and wealth follow them. Their children are radiant with the joy of youth. The young women play. The young women play in the flowery meadows. Dancing with happiness in their hearts. Holy earth, undying spirit, so it is with those whom you honor. Hail to thee. Mother of light. you who are loved by the starry sky. Be generous and give me a happy life. In return for my song. So that I can continue to praise you with my music.
Well, we've come to our final piece in this Homestage Classical Wednesday with the wonderful Chris Brannick. We've had a huge variety of pieces, dramatic pieces, which I love. And I think it's really interesting because I think a lot of people don't realise that a lot of contemporary composers are writing dramatic pieces of, shall we say, legitimate contemporary music. And I think you've really shown us the depth of that, which is great. But there's more.
Yes,
is there not?
Yes, I'm afraid I did ask if you would indulge me in this final piece, so I'm grateful that you said yes.
We decided we thought, well, why not? What else could he possibly do?
And the thing is that in addition to this career as a percussionist, I'm also a writer, and I've been involved in cabaret quite a lot of times. So I've got several plays that I've written, and I even won an award.
I was going to say,
one of my screenplays.
You won a prize, which is fantastic.
Screenplay of the Year for the Global Motion Pictures Awards.
It's impressive, Chris. It's impressive.
Something in the back of my head says, I bet nobody else entered, but I'm not going to discount that. So yeah, this is a cabaret song from a long time ago. And I was in a cabaret duo with Sue Casson, and she's a beautiful singer-songwriter, and I was kind of her accompanist, but also her comedy duo partner, and I used to turn it with all these instruments, and so the group became called Sue Casson and the Brannick Academy, and I was the Brannick Academy. And we wrote a series of pieces for the opening of the Tutankhamun exhibition at the O2 in... I've forgotten when it was now, 2000 something? I can't remember. And series of pieces, some serious, some comedy, and this one, normally I would have somebody else playing the piano for me, but again, if you'll indulge me, I'll take over the piano, and I do hope you enjoy the next 3 minutes, because I do.
I think you will. Thank you very much to Chris. It's been a real pleasure having him here for Homestage.
Thank you for having me.
And we hope in the not too distant future you'll come back and amaze us again with a different variety of instruments.
There's more.
I know you have many of them. Thanks to Chris Brannick, and here is
Pharaoh by me and Sue Casson. My dear old mother asked me, what will you be, my son? A doctor or a lawyer? Would those choices really bore you? A salesman, a surveyor, a barman, a bricklayer? Or you could become a model and get paid for doing not very much. I knew that my reply would cause derision, but I had just one hope, one dream, one vision. I stood proud, I shut my eyes, I spread my arms, I checked my flies, and announced my fond ambition. I'll be a pharaoh, I really want to be a pharaoh. I want to have a palace on the banks of the Nile. I want to dine on toasted bees and roast crocodiles. I'm a pharaoh, I really want to be an F-A-R-O. I want 100 queens, I want thousands of kids. Oh, cast me in gold with those luscious black lids. And when you've done, go out and build me pyramids. I'm a pharaoh. And when I die, embalm me in a gold-lined tomb. Sacrifice my slaves and put them in some other room. Then slaughter all my friends and bury them in their tomb. That's what you do when you're a pharaoh. 'Cause I'm a pharaoh. I really want to be a pharaoh. All my baths should be of marble, all the taps made of gold. Someone else can warm the toilet seat. I don't want it cold. I'm a pharaoh. I really want to be a pharaoh. I want concubines to pander to my every desire. Oh, raven-chested Egyptian Danes in skimpy attire, doing that old sandals while they light my fire. I'm a pharaoh. Bury me deep in a mausoleum. In 5,000 years, I'll see you in the British Museum. If there's an afterlife, I'll be in touch through my medium. It breaks the tedium when you're a pharaoh. You gotta search for the pharaoh inside yourself. Search for the pharaoh you hide. Search for the pharaoh inside yourself until you find your sarcophagi. Some pharaoh over the rainbow. Whatever happened to Lord Carnarvon? He got the curse of Tutankhamun. Whatever happened to those pharaohs? Whatever happened to those pharaohs? No more pharaohs anymore. No more pharaohs anymore. No more pharaohs anymore. Oh, sorry. I mean, it's really not too much to ask, is it? For immortality. The gods the people worship are Osiris, Ra, Ptah, Bet, Amut, Isis, Horus, and me. Sit me on my golden throne and fan me with your palms. Write erotic poetry to remind me of my charms. And if I think that it's no good, and there's no reason why I should, then I'll cut off both your arms. 'Cause I'm a pharaoh. I really want to be a pharaoh. Write to me love letters that's a hieroglyphic. Monuments to me should all be monolithic. I'm a pharaoh. I really want to be a pharaoh. Life's fun and frolicsome and never a bore. 100 wives? No, I want more. 'Cause I don't have to deal with all those mothers-in-law. 'Cause I'm a fair. I don't get how you spell it. I'm a fair. It's just the way I tell it. I'm a fair. Well, I can almost smell it. I'm a fair.